Hey guys, welcome back to Razor RC. Today I thought I'd shoot a quick little video talking about the Team Associated B64D four-wheel drive electric buggy. And those of you who've seen my review video have seen basically that kind of one of the areas there I think there's a weakness is that there's a little bit of fragility to this buggy. There are some areas that I think tend to break a little too easily. So I just want to talk about some of the durability fixes and things I've seen and some changes I made that I think improve the reliability and the durability of the buggy. So with that out of the way, let's just go through it real quick. So the Team Associated B64D is a pretty good buggy, but the areas I found, kind of a little too fragile. The first thing I want to talk about are basically these rear inserts here. So as you can see, my particular buggy, I've got some nice little blue anodized inserts, but the stock pieces are just like these flimsy little plastic pieces, and I'll grab one and kind of show you what it looks like. They're just like super thin, paper thin, break really easily. I don't know why they did this, but basically they carried over the design from the B6, B6D, and they have these little plastic inserts. So get those aluminum ones. That will definitely add some durability. I've broken probably 2 or 3 of these things between my B6 and my B64D. I definitely recommend putting those in. I think they're like $10 or $15 probably, not too expensive. And then the other main area that you've probably heard of or seen, or if you own one of these you've experienced it yourself, is basically the front end of this thing does tend to break things, and that's pretty much a four-wheel drive thing. As you can see, there's really not much kick up. The front arms are almost completely flat or horizontal. I think they have about 8 or 10 degrees of kick up normally just from the chassis alone. So when you hit a wall or pipe or whatever, basically, all those impact forces are just going to ram right in, straight in the arm, and something has to give generally. And so if you have one of the original B64Ds like I do, when it came out, it basically came out like these really fragile front arms. There's no other way to talk about them, but these are the original arms that came with the kit. They did break quite frequently, so I was like, okay, well, they didn't really have a fix for these, originally. So what I ended up doing was getting some of these hard arms. So you can tell that the hard arms, they've got like this light gray sort of color. And these definitely were a lot more durable than the original plastic ones. But then the problem was they didn't break. And actually what ended up happening was I ended up breaking a ton of these A blocks. So basically, all the forces would get rammed right into the arm, and then the arm would just basically rip the hinge pin straight out of this aluminum A block. And so I probably went through like 3 or 4 of these things, and unfortunately the A blocks are a heck of a lot more expensive than arms, so that really wasn't a good solution. But now what I'm running are actually these update arms. So you can see they're a little bit different. So I'm running the soft arms, but they actually have a little extra material here, basically on the side where there's shock tower. The shocks actually mount onto the arms. Just have a little extra ribbing. And they're still made out of the softer, more flexible stuff, so they will actually give a little bit. They feel pretty darn stiff, but they will actually give a little bit and really not damage the A block. And so I've been running those successfully for a few months now. Definitely that seems to be the best choice out of the 3 of these, and I recommend that if you're having trouble with arms breaking or A blocks breaking. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was basically these pill inserts in the hubs. So I'm not the hubs, I'm sorry, the A block and B block. Basically there's like these plastic kind of soft gray pills that get inserted in here and basically set the sweep and the kick up and all that good stuff. Those things do tend to wear out, especially if you're like smashing into stuff with your arms. A lot of those forces will basically get transmitted into those little gray plastic pills. They will kind of get a little sloppy, and you'll notice they deform a little bit. And so if you don't have nice tight arms and hinge pins holding those in place, definitely check those every so often, especially after you break an arm or something. You definitely want to check your pills again, because if those are at all a little bit sloppy, they do seem to kind of wiggle a little bit. And then because the hinge pins don't go completely through the A blocks, they're kind of held in place by those pills. What happens is the hinge pins basically just kind of rip through those pills, and then and if they're able to, they'll actually make contact with the actual A block and B block themselves, and then just damage those as well. So you'll end up kind of like chipping the outer edge of these things as they get ripped out. So check those every so often, replace them as needed. You know, they're fairly inexpensive, and you get a whole part tree of them for like, you know, $8 or something like that. So anyways, with those checks and upgrades, I found actually the B64D to be a heck of a lot more durable. I really haven't broken anything in quite a while actually, so I'm quite impressed with the durability now. You know, originally I would have given the durability of this buggy a pretty low score, but with those changes, I think it's quite a bit better. So anyways, I hope this video helped you out. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. I do appreciate that. Throw it on a comment if you have other durability suggestions or other things you found to be useful. So anyways, thanks for watching, and look for more videos soon. Bye.